So the main thing that students get wrong in drafting an LOR is that Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to talk about top 10 mistakes which students or an undergraduate student make in getting the letter of recommendation. So let us get started. So the number one mistake which students make is they choose a wrong recommender. So for example, I am applying for a program abroad and I want to get a recommendation. So it is much better to ask a recommendation from an assistant professor who you have worked under, you have made projects under, who knows you well, so that he or she can present your strengths to the committee in a right way, instead of asking the college principal who may have seen you in some college events or short events, who doesn't even know you. So always choose a recommender who knows you instead of his or her designation. So number two is not giving enough time to the recommender. For example, I am applying to a program and the deadline is December. So when I ask a recommender to recommend me, I will ask him or her probably 4 to 6 weeks before, so that he or she can get ample amount of time, so that they can draft your recommendation in a very good way, so that they show your strength in a very good way. And do not rush the recommender, because it will lead to a very poor quality of recommendation and it may hinder your chances of getting an admission in your university. So number three is back your recommendation with examples. So for example, I asked my teacher to give a recommendation for me. So he or she cannot write a generic letter of recommendation. For example, he is good in this, he is good in that. This generic language will not work. The recommender must back it up with for example, instances or examples which you have done in a project. If, for example, if you have done a good project under the recommender, so he or she can back it up with examples. So do not make a generic, always include examples in your recommendation, because generic LORs do not work in general. So always include examples of what you did under the recommender, so that it looks authentic and also provides a valuable insight into your candidature. So number four is missing out on areas of improvement. For example, if I ask the recommender to recommend me and he only gives positive remarks about me, so this will be it will not be a good sign to the committee or to the admission committee, because you do not have to mention all the positive points. Nobody is stopping you to give a positive recommendation, but always include some areas of improvement. For example, he or she is good in this project but lacks creativity, but lacks attention. So these negative traits will not only make your recommendation authentic, but it will also be a generic one. For example, there are positive points also and negative also. Do not include all the positive points, because it will not be as authentic as it can be. So keep this in mind. So number five is using a cold dry tone. For example, if my recommender is not interested in recommending me and he or she uses a cold dry tone, that he is good in this, he is good in that, and he is not interested, so the admission committee will notice this and they may downgrade your application, or it may negatively affect your application. So always ask the recommended who you have a connection to and who can use the same amount of tone and a bit of warmth in it, so that the admission committee really thinks that he or she really wants to recommend you, not using a cold dry tone. So let us talk about number 6. Number 6 is not giving enough information to the recommender. For example, if I am asking a recommendation, then he or she must know all of my achievements, my certifications, any internships I have done, or any co-curricular activities I have participated in. So I will be providing him with my CV and also a list of all the achievements and co-curriculars which I have achieved in my college or school, and so that he or she has enough information to recommend and draft a perfect LOR. So let us talk about number 7. Number 7 is contact details. So contact details are basically when you fill out a recommendation form on the university's website, they usually ask for an email address and phone number, as well as the name and many other things. So always give the email address and phone, and always check the email address, you double check the email address, because once you have sent the recommender, you will not be able to change it in some case of universities. So always check the recommendations email if it is working or not, or he or she is using it or not, and also the phone number if he or she is using it or not. Usually universities contact the recommenders by email, not by phone, but double cross check these two things so that you have a successful LOR. Let us talk about number 8. Number 8 is excessive praising. So you do not want the recommender to like excessively praise you. You are not perfect and you cannot get perfect in each and every area. So let the recommender recommend you in such a way that he or she highlights your areas of improvement as well as the positive things you have done. So do not exaggerate the excessive praising part, because it looks fake and it brings a negative tone to your LOR and it does not look good. So avoid like writing excessive praise or like requesting the recommender that you should write excessive praise. No, keep it simple, keep it real, and it will be good. So let us talk about number 9. Number 9 is using the same information you have given in your resume or SOP. So do not use the same information as your SOP. So LOR's main perspective is basically giving the admission committee a new perspective of who you are as a person, and using the same information from the SOP and resume will sound like the LOR does not know you, or he does not have a healthy relationship with you. So do not use the same information, and the basic purpose of LOR is like making an image in the mind of the admission committee without you saying a word. So do not include information either from the SOP and LOR, and make it a new perspective, and it should work. So the last mistake which I am going to talk about here is a basic one. For example, spelling errors or politically incorrect language. And spelling errors are a big no-no. Do not ask the recommender to use a very good English language, but it should be a simple language with no spelling errors. And politically incorrect means the recommender cannot say that, oh, this person was like suffering from depression or from this and that, because it you may be suffering from these things, but you should not include it in your LOR. So these will be politically incorrect and will display a negative tone in the mind of admissions committee. So this was the last point that you should take care in your mind while drafting a best LOR. So this is it for the video, guys, and if you have any questions, I will be linking my social media handles down below in the description, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask me questions. I will be very happy to help. And इस वीडियो के लिए इतना ही, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. बाय बाय. Coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in